But let's get started. Let me make sure that I'm actually live on Twitch.
What are
Um,
we gonna get started with?
with so let me make sure that we're live on Twitch first before anything. Okay? Don't get too excited. Okay? Because I gotta make sure we're live on Twitch. Because it says we're live, but you know what I'm saying. All right, we're live. We're live. All right, cool. Queen of games are out. Nice. Ad breaks, 30 seconds. Nice. Get that monies. Anyway, my name is Carlos. You already know that. And then this is eventually going to become a thing that happens every week, hopefully. And it's going to be a gaming news where we just ramble about stuff that we like, Gio and myself, or gaming pod, if he wants to be called that. I don't know. We're gonna test things out. So if you happen to watch this and it looks shitty, eventually it'll get better. But this is how it's gonna be for now. Okay. So I have some stuff here on my end. I wrote some stuff, some topics to talk about, and we're just gonna. I'm gonna give you some facts that I found while doing some research, but it's mostly just gonna be rambling around and just talking about video games. In this crazy time. And so the first thing I would like to talk about is what future gamers will look like. This is an interesting article I read about how, according to the data conducted by Limelight, some company, about gaming in the US, UK, Japan, South Korea, France, and Germany, the average gamer spends almost 6 hours each week playing online video games, an increase of 19.3% in the last year. UK gamers average 7.15 hours per week. So what that's saying is that we're spending a lot of time, but that's not actually like a lot of time. I've played 6 hours in one sitting, especially now. Um, so what do you think of that? Like, Gio, increase of 19.3% in the last year.
Well, I feel like 6 hours is kind of low, because that's like an average. That's like an hour a day. I
Hmm.
feel like gamers. I don't know. I feel like gamers spend over like.
How
I mean,
much?
me personally,
Yeah,
I play like, or maybe I'm on my system for like maybe about like 8 hours to 10 hours a week,
but are you actually on
like
your
playing
like
games.
playing games, or are you just consuming media like Netflix and like Hulu and all that stuff?
Oh, you're right. I mean, I think playing games maybe. No, I think maybe 6 hours, but 6 to 7 hours. I feel
Hmm.
like that doesn't really make. I mean,
Like,
it
it doesn't make
depends.
sense.
Is this how recent is this study? Because I feel like if this study was done like last week,
This
the
was
number should
done.
be higher.
Well, probably. This was done. Actually, yeah. This year, this literally, it was published today. Today.
But the study is for
Um.
the last few months, or
Yeah. The last year. So as a whole, like, I think this is pretty much 2019. It's pretty much 2019. Yeah, 2019. So pretty much like from last year and stuff.
yeah. I mean, I feel like that's not bad. 6 to 7 hours.
But you would think it'd be like 6 hours per day or something like that. But then I guess like what's funny to me is how the UK is higher by like an hour and 15 minutes. Like why is why
Maybe
is
they have
theirs
more
higher?
time.
I mean, true. They're on the other side of the world, so we don't know. All right, here it says here. Another quote that I read that was kind of like interesting was clinical psychologists suggest that psychological problems like anxiety and depression exist prior to gaming disorders, and that gaming creates an escape from the pressure and stress. So they were just pretty much talking about in the article where a lot of people, like, their reason for playing video games is to escape, and that's why they feel like more people are going into like that world because especially like things going on now. Obviously, I don't know how relevant it is to the times now because it didn't really mention anything, but it was published like literally today. So I want to assume that it had an emphasis of like uh thinking, like the author was probably thinking about how things were today, and so I mean, as a gamer, like I remember playing GameCube, and I liked coming home like from a. I mean, I was gonna say stressful day at school, but it wasn't stressful. It was just like, kids would be mean and stuff like that. You know when you're a kid, kids are bullies or whatever. So it was nice to come home and play like. I remember playing what was that game called? Simpsons Hit and Run, Shadow. So like that was my way to escape like all the shitty days, right? So like, I can see where a lot of people, because I know in the media it's portrayed as something that's horrible, that like it causes violence and it causes this, but there hasn't actually been like a lot of studies saying that if you play video games you're gonna go somewhere and go crazy.
I mean, I think the okay, I mean, of course, it's gonna create an escape, right? Because
Yeah.
you're gonna be like thinking about the game versus like actual problems going on in
Mhm.
people's lives. But the thing is, it's like also it's not necessarily gonna help the gamer
Mhm.
deal with their psychological problems that they're having or their anxiety and stress.
Mhm.
So I think it would be interesting to see what the study says about um, their stress and
Mhm.
anxiety after they play games for like a
Yeah.
certain amount of times. You know?
No, I get you. Like, it just says that like it has the connotation of like if you're a gamer, you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, you're like a lot of like people perceived gamers as like the guy from, I don't know if you've seen South Park, that episode where it was like the World of Warcraft episode, and like the like that guy I'm talking about. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like the guy that's like leaning back playing World of Warcraft or whatever, and like he was like old and like you know overweight and stuff. So it's like they they pretty much like um where is it? So yeah, it's pretty much saying how like some people that study this are saying that video games aren't helping like somebody that's depressed or going through things, but it also says like just because some people are going through things, that doesn't mean that it's like video games are a factor for that person to be miserable, to be upset. It's like it's not used as a tool for depression, but it's used as a tool to like, yeah, I had a shitty day at work. I want to go home and I want to shoot demons. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like I want to play Animal Crossing, and like for me Animal Crossing has been a blessing and a curse, especially in these times. Like I can literally say, oh, I'm gonna do one thing today. That's all I'm gonna do, and then the next thing I know, I'm playing 3 hours, and I'm doing something so like so small and minuscule, but like I'm entertained, and I'm able to forget about how crazy the world is. Because when you go outside and you see how things are going, it's just weird. But like unfortunately, there's not enough information to like say like um for here's a quote. I think there's a lot of social anxiety in young people who are gaming. She explained, gaming is a safe space. You can create a new identity for yourself, and I think that speaks volumes. Because like if you're a kid that's like not good at, let's say for example, math, right? And you come home and you play, I don't know, um, what's a game that requires skill? Um, I don't know, Dark Souls, right? And like obviously that's a single player game, so that's kind of like contradicting what I'm trying to say, but like you might not be good at something, but you come home and you play a video game, and it gives you the sense of satisfaction because you're able to do this. Or like some people are able to create jobs because they're literally playing video games. So it's like their parents would tell them, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that," but they actually have talent with Call of Duty or like or what have you, right? And
Yeah.
they're able to make something out of themselves. They're making something negative, which whatever it could be, or maybe it's something positive. They're good at sports, and then they come home and they're also good at this. So it's like I wish this article had more information about like psych. What's the word? Psych. Damn it, I can't think of the word. Um, More like information of like how exactly it affects our psyche. But I know like with personal experience, it's something that you actually look forward to and you actually enjoy. It's like, damn it, I can't think of the word. I'm trying to hear back so I can see if I can hear you. So can you like talk for like 5 minutes?
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna keep talking for 5 minutes until you can hear me.
No, no. Tell me what you think. What do you think of like with the things I told you and like how does it affect gaming either positive or negative?
The psychology.
No, it's just in general. Like, do you think video games can be used for something like? Do you think?
Positive.
Yeah. Do you think that if you, based on your experiences, when you had a shitty date, can you come? Do you use like video games as a way to rely on things, or is it something that like um, it's just something extra
See,
that you have?
it's just something extra that I have to be honest, because I feel like everyone can. I don't know. I think it depends on the person and it depends on the problems that they're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with. Because I mean, okay, you could classify games as an escape, but that doesn't mean that the problems and the issues that people are having are going to be resolved because they're gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, they still have to either deal with the problems that they have,
Mm-hmm.
or they have to somehow um, ignore them until they eventually
Yeah.
go away. But
No, no, I get
that's not
you. Yeah.
gonna do anything for them. But I mean, I guess it's positive in the way that people can just focus on gaming, but
Mm-hmm.
then ignore their problems. But then at the end of the day, like I said, like they're not. It's not gonna resolve anything.
No, no, yeah.
Um, but it's like I think it's definitely like an escape for people, but it's only gonna be temporarily.
And like, do you think with like, so by the way, you sound good. But do you think like, especially like with how things are now, do you think that a lot of people are relying more on video games as a form of like escaping, or you think it's more of a distraction because people are a lot of people working from home or a lot of people aren't working and stuff like that? Like, what do you think?
Um, I wouldn't say it's a distraction because to be honest, I feel like games should be considered as like for some reason I feel like games are they're more scrutinized in the public eye versus like
Mm-hmm.
movies or music.
Yeah.
Like some people some people just listen to music all day and all night,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And to
or they
some,
watch movies and they do movie marathons, and somehow that's not considered a waste of time
mm-hmm.
or a distraction
or like
compared to everything else they have to get done in life.
or to some people that could be a form of distraction. Like if I like to read books and you like to read or you like to read music, you like to watch like movies. Like to me, for example, if I'm somebody likes to write, I mean, obviously this is kind of being negative, but like it could also be like I like to read books. Why are you watching movies all day? Like use your brain, whatever. Like so, I understand where that's coming from. Unfortunately, video games are usually like the scapegoat of things. Um, but moving on to scapegoats. Um, I want to give you some information you probably already know, but some people don't know about the new PS5 controller, which is called DualSense. First of all, I think that's a dumb name, but regardless, here's some things that we know about it. Okay, so we know that it's going to be based on like the leaks or the photos, whatever. We know it's going to be black and white color scheme. So maybe, do you think that that's how the PS5 is going to look, or do you think it's going to look different?
No, I'm sure that the controller somehow has to match the
Mm-hmm.
design of the system.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the PS5 is going to be a two color system.
Okay. And then the second thing we know is that they're trying to go for more like of a iRobot futuristic. I don't know if you noticed, but I was going through Twitter and I saw when they first leaked the image or whatever, I got a lot of vibes from that Astro. What's that game called? Astro Rescue or something
Basketball.
like that? Yeah. I got a lot of vibes from that. Like it was like whether it was inspired or something, but it just looks too similar to it. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but it looks so similar
Uh,
to it.
Similar to the robot.
Yeah, like the color scheme and everything, like controller.
Yeah, I mean it looks more futuristic for sure.
Okay, so the third thing we know is that they want to focus more on an article that I read. They want to focus more on creation. So there's a instead of a share button now, it's going to be a create button, but they're not going to tell us until later. What do you think that's going to be? Do you think it's just going to be literally be just like easier way to stream or something or?
No, I think they're gonna emphasize more. Because before the emphasis on that button was just to share your
Mm-hmm,
content. I
mm-hmm,
think their emphasis on create would mean that there's going to be more options for you to actually create and do stuff within your
mm-hmm,
system. So like live streaming, maybe uh, being able to edit videos, maybe be able to connect the mouse and keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
maybe actually do more things within the system.
Be more
um,
flexible.
which is Yeah, and I think it's interesting because I think it would be interesting for them to incorporate a mouse and keyboard into
Mm-hmm.
the system, because I think eventually we're like leaning more towards like a PC architect
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the consoles.
But
So
at that point, wouldn't you just better off be like, this is coming from somebody that loves Sony. I'm not a fanboy, but I love Sony. Don't you think it, like, with things how going now, with a lot of services are giving, like, for example, I just subscribed to Origin Access. It gives me a lot of access to games that I can play on my PC, right? So don't you think, like, they're trying to move in towards a PC? So don't you think people will pretty much say, like, maybe I'll skip this generation, just get a PC? What do you think PS5 is gonna do to, like, still get people to invest in something that they can easily just either build themselves? Because I'm positive you can probably build something for $600 and be somewhat, probably even better than what the graphics are going to be in the PS5.
I mean, I think people like simplicity,
Mm.
right? So I don't think a lot of people have time to like research like how to build a PC, how to manage it,
But they
how to
can
make sure
they
it's up to date.
they can buy
So
they can buy a pre-build. They don't have to, like, build it themselves.
yeah, but again, it's like it takes time for them to research what they're buying, right?
That's
So
true.
I think when you're dealing with a market such as like the gamer market, it's
Mhm.
always best for them to have a pre-built like system and then sell it and then
Mhm.
advertise it. If they start bringing in different like components and different things that you can plug and play
Yeah.
and connect to the system, people start to get confused, and people that get confused are gonna be like like their mind is gonna be turned away from buying what you're
Mhm.
trying to sell. You
They're
know?
gonna be frustrated. They're gonna be like, "Oh, what's the point?" But, like, my thoughts is in people that buy Xboxes, because, like, you can literally, like, at least now, probably not then, but now you can literally buy any. If you have, like, Xbox Game Pass, you can literally play games on your PC that are Xbox games. So it's like I did that for a while, and I was just like, I'm never gonna buy an Xbox because I have no reason to. You know what I mean? I have no reason to buy a system that I can easily play on my own PC already. So it's like I understand that, because there is times where I'm playing games and I have to, like, adjust. I just feel like a lot of people don't like having a lot of options. When it comes to games or when it comes to, like, technology, they want to just be, like, simple. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people want simplicity. Like you said, like, well, you did say that they want simplicity. So, like, maybe that's the thing that's, like, stopping people from just getting a PC if they're Xbox fans. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
too much daunting, or they have to spend more money and they already have their Xbox X or whatever. So moving on, they're going with they're trying to be, at least this is a quote from them, or paraphrasing. They're trying to go with a more mature look on their products. So they want to, grow up. They don't want to be the simple. They want to be, like, going from, a PSP to a Vita. Obviously, that's a horrible example because the PS Vita did horribly here in the States, but they're trying to be more like moving on with the times. Like you said, they're adding a way. They're trying to add a way to be more accessible, and then when I think they're also trying to be more, I guess, cool, more like, because I don't know if you ever been in Best Buy and you've seen something that was like, oh, this is shiny, like a PC, right? And you're like, oh, this is shiny, because it has RGB or whatever. I think they're trying to go for that, like, based on that, they're trying to go for the wow factor, because apparently on paper the PS5 is kind of like, not as powerful as the Xbox counterpart. So maybe they're trying to go for, like, the to have, like, the exclusives and to have the, like, the appeal.
Yeah, I get it. Wait, so just to make sure, what was the question?
No, it wasn't a question. It was just me telling you that based on, when they based on the article that I read, the people at Sony, they want to make the console look more mature. They wanted to grow up, like, mature with, like, they don't want to keep it the same. as the PS5 and the PS3 and the PS4 Pro. Like they want to move on and to be something I guess more appealing to people.
Yeah, but I feel like it's already appealing to people. Like
But the thing is,
they have
we
to
don't
be
know what it
they
is
have
though.
to they have to be careful. Well, I mean, it just I mean at this point it's just like you just have to expand on everything they did well on the PS4. Like you can't change the whole ecosystem and like expect like why would you just if it works why change the whole thing? Like if the operating system is
But
smooth,
that's my
clean,
that's my
people
thing.
like it.
That's my thing. And you said that I'm not. I don't know if it was you or somebody else told me that I don't like change. It was probably you. I'm scared. So when I saw the controller, I'm scared of one thing. All the rumors of the dev kit. Obviously, dev kits don't usually turn out to be the way they are. We know that. But what if it is the way the dev kit looks? And yeah, it's supposed to be cool, but like I can't see myself having a product like that. It just looks weird, and it's like, especially
I mean,
with the
I think
way, especially with the way things are going now. For all I know, there probably won't be exclusives anymore in like 2 3 years, maybe next year, but 3 years from now, who's gonna have exclusives? Because we already know The Last of Us is coming to PC. We know Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC. What else? Um,
Spider-Man 2
really?
if they announce
Oh,
it.
like a lot of games are also coming to PC. Obviously, they're going to come out later, but like if you have a PC and it's like 2080 Ti, you have like the latest Intel Core processor, or excuse me, or even the Ryzen processor, which is killing it right now. Like, why do you need a console? You know what I mean? Like, I can
Yeah,
understand like last year where like there was never talk of like or even Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2. I think is it already on PC or is it going to PC? I don't know if it's um on PC, but like even that game's on PC. Obviously, the story mode's amazing. The online is shitty, but I don't know. Moving forward, I don't think that's something that coming from somebody that has both things, that if I already know that it's not going to perform as well as the counterpart on Xbox. Obviously, I'm not going to buy an Xbox, but if I already know that what I have right now is somewhat or better than what's going to come out, why wouldn't I invest in something? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
with that, they want to focus more on a multiplayer. So they're going to have a microphone that you can talk to built in to the controller. So like, this is my controller, right? This is like a PS4 controller. They're gonna have a mic where you can just literally like under this, you can mute yourself or whatever, and like yeah, there's gonna be like clickety clack. But even when I'm playing with people or I'm talking to people, and I'm playing on PC, you can still hear me clicking on my mouse and stuff. So it's like to me, it's not a big deal, and I think it's cool that they're gonna do that. But I just hope it's actually good and not shitty, you know, like because I don't want it to be like the mic you get when you buy the PS4. Any thoughts on that? Do you think that's a good idea, smart idea, or a dumb idea?
I mean it would be interesting if they because I feel like they're gonna be using the same speaker and mic technology that they already have for for like their camera and their controller.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does it really make sense for them to? I mean, wait, no, I think they're actually gonna work on something. They're gonna actually work on some other 3D sound technology. I think
Really?
for like the speaker. So I'm assuming that if they're gonna have a microphone on the controller, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it's gonna do some like. I'm sure it's gonna have like cool technology behind it. You know,
So
like yeah,
we know that it's gonna have USB C, and to me, I think that's an upgrade that should have been a thing for a long time because I hate how flimsy this is. You know.
yeah,
Well, you can't see it, but I hate how flimsy it is, and I don't like. So I have an iPhone, obviously, right? I don't know why I said obviously, but I have an iPhone, and I hate the fact that I can't use USB C. Like my Switch has USB C. One of the chargers I have is USB C. I just feel like I have a ports on my computer that USB C. I just wish things like like obviously this is like, or at least a micro USB is something that's probably going to be a thing for a while. But I wish it would like kind of move on with time, because it's
well,
just
I mean, Apple has their own technology, but with Sony, I mean, the PlayStation 4 came out in 2013. I
Mm.
don't think USB-C technology was like
But
that like
when the
early.
Pro came out, they could have done something. Because what? When did the Pro come out? Like 2 years ago?
Yeah, but I think this is hard because you can't like it's hard for them to just
Change the
change
yeah.
technology
Yeah,
mid-generation
because
because
then
at that point
you would have to buy a different controller, or you would have to buy an adapter that has USB C to like yeah. No, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
yeah, you know,
All right, and the last thing about the controller is that it's gonna have haptic feedback. So
I mean,
pretty
that's the
much,
main thing.
it's gonna be like when you're shooting, it's gonna feel like you're actually shooting a gun supposedly, and when you're driving a car and you're skidding on the road, you're gonna feel the skid. So I have a Switch Lite, and I love it. But I'm noticing now with like obviously this is not PlayStation related, but this is kind of related to what the haptic is. Um, when I'm playing Animal Crossing or any game in general, I don't really get a sense of like immersion. And when I use the Joy Cons, I feel immersed sometimes. Like especially when I play Animal Crossing and I have to catch fish, I know when to catch the fish because I feel it. Like I feel like the haptic feedback on the Joy Cons. And so if something so simple as the Switch could do that, I really hope that it's something that's actually legit from Sony. I hope it's something that's good and worth it, not just like a gimmick. Because like you said, it's like a big deal because they're making it a big deal. But I actually hope it is a big deal and not just something that they're hyping. You know, to get attention, like Xbox did with the camera, which nobody used, or some people did, but
True.
thoughts and opinions.
Sorry, give me a quick second.
Come on, we're live, bro. I can't give you a
So I
second.
think sorry. So one thing I would say is, I mean, the haptic feedback for the PS5 controller makes sense.
Mm.
Um, because I mean, there hasn't really been new technology for controllers.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the DualShock, it's been 4 generations of consoles, and there's nothing new in the controller. I mean, the PS4 had the touchpad and a few other things, but besides that, there hasn't been anything else, that's been
Mm-hmm.
like new
Like worth it.
generation changing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I do like the speaker on the PS4 controller because like some games incorporate that really well with
Mm-hmm.
their games.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes you hear like let's say you're playing like Call of Duty and then you hear
Yeah.
like a commander like calling you in. You kind of hear the voice through the controller, the speaker
Mm-hmm.
on the controller. So that sounds really cool. But I feel like with the dual sense, I feel like the technology sounds really cool. But I'm hoping that games actually incorporate that somehow in the PlayStation 5 games
Mm-hmm.
versus them just having the technology in the controller but no one's using it.
Like a gimmick.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be cool if
Like.
somehow PlayStation can find a way to because I feel like every generation they have like some technology that they want to sell to you. You could
Mm-hmm.
call it a gimmick or not. So like with PlayStation 4 they had the PSVR, but I think with the
But that was a
PlayStation 5,
standalone thing.
yeah, I feel like with the PlayStation 5 they should come out with like maybe like gloves that kind of incorporate sensors and kind of find like they should find like okay, you see how they want to really push haptic feedback. If they somehow find a way to have gloves that somehow incorporate the
Mm-hmm.
sense of touch within your like imagine having gloves that you can put on and actually have like pressure.
Yeah.
You can actually feel like pressure. You can actually feel kind of like heat coming in or something cold.
You know how dirty those things are gonna be? They're gonna be nasty.
I mean, no, it's not. I mean, why would they be nasty?
Cause the people like just I think so. Going off that, I think it'd be cool. Like I'm pretty sure you've seen those things where you like those like vests you put on or like your straps you put on that like you feel the music. Wouldn't that be better when you're playing a game? Because you just literally strap it to yourself and then you connect it to like the controller or something. Like they find a way to
Yeah,
like wireless. Wouldn't that feel
but
better?
that's
Because then you're driving and it feels like you're like you're going back. Like when you're playing Rush of Blood and you're playing, you feel like you're getting attacked, right? When you're playing the game. So it's like, wouldn't that be a better feeling or like reaction with like something physical? Because you already have it on your controller, right? You're playing, you feel the haptic feedback on the controller, right? Wouldn't it be better to
Yeah.
feel it somewhere else? Because you also have like you said, when you have your headphones on, or when I have my headphones on and I'm playing a game, and if somebody, like, let's say I'm playing a scary game, right, and I'm just looking forward, and I hear something on my side, I freak out because I can actually, it feels like somebody is actually on my side breathing. Like when I was playing Resident Evil 7, and I was going through things, I was paranoid because I would hear people like talking or like just breathing on my neck, and I would literally look in real time, and there's no one there, and it was that immersive. So it's like, if they add a way to make that feel, but like on the controller, that'd be awesome. And if they added a
I
way
feel
to
like
like put it on,
if they can somehow incorporate 3D sound. Okay, you see how the controller has a speaker? If they
mm-hmm.
can somehow have the controller somehow push 3D sound from the controller to you, I
For
feel like that would
headset,
be really cool.
I mean, for that to work, I think it would have to be a headset.
Yeah,
Like,
but let's say you can actually have
because this is not going to be strong enough to produce enough like
well
audio for you to like feel it here and then feel it here, unless you're like
well
this playing, you know.
well imagine if they could somehow
That'd be amazing.
kind of push
But
sound from the controller and have it bounce off like
mm-hmm.
your like walls and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes you think that there's sound, like it makes you actually feel like there's sound, kind of like a 360 room, right? Like if you're like kind of like if you have like a 360 speakers in a room,
Mm-hmm.
but imagine if
Like if you
somehow
had
we could.
like if you had like surround sound, like you had a speaker there and speakers over there.
Yeah,
That's what you
very,
mean.
very cool if they can somehow incorporate surround sound on
But
the speaker and the controller.
the thing is though, if they do that, they're going to overprice so much because they're going to find a way to like. Obviously, this is just us speculating and wishing, you know. But with knowing companies like that, they'll find a way to make something a gimmick and then charge more for it and validate because, oh, you're getting this now, so it's going to be this much, you know. So it's cool. Like, so for me, I've always wanted to have a scuff or like a pro controller, but like I don't feel like spending $300 for something that I'm for like 2 games I'm going to play. You know, I don't have the need or necessity to be a competitive player. I don't have that drive in me, right? So I never really pull the trigger. But sorry, um, but like when I saw that they have this thing you can attach to your controller, you know, the little paddle things. Like to me, that's something that like I actually want to get, and it's only $30. So if they find a way to like sell us through that form, that'd be awesome because it would just be like, oh yeah, here's your system. Oh, by the way, if you want to make it more immersive, here's this. You know, like with the PSVR, like you don't have to buy PSVR, but if you want to feel more immersed, you can get it. It's a separate thing. So like I like what you're saying, but I hope if they ever do that, they added like a secondary thing, not a necessity, but like a secondary.
Yeah.
So going forward, since we're speaking about video games, I want to end in sort of like a different note. So I was just reading like a random funny article, well not funny, but like fun article where they asked people or like the person writing this who they would want to cast as their favorite video game character. They said, I don't know if you know the wrestler, but Dave Batista as Marcus Phoenix. I would love to see him as that. He is in the game. If you have the latest Gears of War, if you're playing online, you can actually play as him, and he actually has voice lines, so that's amazing. We're close to that. They say Jake Gyllenhaal as Ezio, Desmond, or any major character for Assassin's Creed. They also said Jake Gyllenhaal as Nathan Drake, and then Tom Hardy as Arthur Morgan. To me, that's like when I read that, that's the only one where I'm like, shit, that can actually work. So what are your who do you see a famous actor being a famous character? Like, what's your favorite game? Top 5 games for PlayStation that you like. Go.
That's hard.
I said top 5. I was gonna say your favorite game, but top 5.
Wait, top 5 games on
In
PlayStation 4?
yeah, no PlayStation in general. PlayStation.
No, that's hard. I think Crash Bandicoot is really good.
Crash
Uh,
Bandicoot, but obviously.
I'll say Crash, Assassin's Creed.
Okay, before you go, who would you want to see? Wait, which Assassin's Creed? Because there's a lot. If you had to
That's
pick
the
one,
Ezio.
oh, the
I
Ezio
think the
collection.
Ezio collection.
So who do you see as an actor being Ezio? Like who can you see? Who can you picture? If you had the power to be a producer and be like, I want him to be Ezio Auditore. Who is that?
I don't know. I feel like that's hard. I think it would need to be a new actor. Like you can't just pick. Like I don't want to pick anyone from like Hollywood.
You wanted
You
somebody like fresh.
someone yeah, like they need it needs to be like a different take on the Ezio.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Like you need someone with the accent. You need someone with like the
did, did you
character of
see
Ezio.
did you see the sunscreen movie?
No.
No. Well, it, I'm probably going to be the only person, but I liked it. It was kind of weird, but I forgot his name. I thought he did good. I gotta turn my laptop. Give me a second. I like how this happens mid stream. Okay. All right. Okay. So I I thought the movie was good. He was a good actor. I don't remember his name. He also played Magneto, and the I was about to say Star Wars movies. He also played Magneto in the X-Men movies. So I don't know. I think yeah. I think at least for Assassin's Creed, it would have to be, or it would be cool to see somebody like new, like actor, but like somebody like that's barely coming into the industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All right.
I
What else?
agree.
What else?
Has to be someone else.
What's your third game?
I think Horizon Zero Dawn is really good.
So which girl? Which woman? Same thing. Somebody new, or do you? Excuse me. Do you have
I don't
somebody
know.
in
I
mind?
feel like we just need more people in Hollywood. We need more actors.
I think so.
Like I feel like Hollywood likes to stick with like the same five people. Like
Mm-hmm.
every year they have like the top five people, and then they just keep recasting them for different movies.
Oh,
Like
that's true.
Hollywood they need to get more
But dude,
people, and then they need
just
to
like anime,
make them.
dude, anime. You literally like you watch one anime, and then you watch another one, and you're just like, especially like in Japanese, you're like you listen to it, and you're just like, the fuck isn't that the voice from this so and so, and then you look it up, and you're like, what? He's also this. He's also that. So like, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, there isn't. I think there is a lot of people in the industry, but because we like certain types of movies that we don't see that, you know? Like now that, my parents are here and stuff, like my mom's watching a lot of like Indian movies, and there's a lot of good actors. I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but the movies that are coming out are really good. But unfortunately, the industry in India or wherever the thing is taking place, it's very like small. So it's literally one actor. Like I've seen the same actor play different roles. He does it amazingly, but he's literally doing. I'm like, wait, mom, is it in the movie? No, no, it's a different one. He's doing this and this and this. I'm like, oh, so in the other movie he was a bad guy. In this movie he's like the victim. It's like it's weird, but like it is over oversaturated with like a lot of like um same people, but like I mean, if an actor is good, he's good, or actress. So like for me, my top favorite games would have to be God of War. Um, and I don't know if you know this. I forgot his name, but I would love to see the voice actor of God of War actually play Kratos. I forgot
Wait,
his name.
wait, what? The voice actor of God of War?
Yeah.
That's what do you mean? That's the same person.
No, I'm saying I would want him to actually be like if they ever do an actual
Oh,
live
the
action.
actual voice actor.
Yeah, I would love to have the actual voice actor be Kratos himself, because that would
But
be
that would be
amazing.
hard.
How would it be hard?
The original voice actor is African American.
Okay, so
You would just change the whole like race of who Kratos is.
he doesn't look white. Like Kratos does not look white.
Well, it's hard because remember in the story how his skin is made of ashes
Uh huh.
from his wife and his daughter.
Hmm.
So like, ashes are white.
But not all ashes are white though. But like I'm pretty sure if they ever made it like just think about it. He literally looks like Kratos. Have you seen a picture of him? He looks like Kratos, dude. He just looks.
Wait, but do you know there's two different voice actors for him?
I know, no, but I'm talking about the newest one. I know there's another one. I don't know if the other person's white or black or whatever. I just know that this person, when I heard his voice, I'm like, it literally felt like Kratos. Like, I mean, the game was just amazing in general. So like,
Yeah.
but I can see like when I was playing the game, I was like, dude, he can actually be Kratos. Like, he literally like when I saw a picture of him, I was like, this motherfucker looks like Kratos. Just shave his head, he's good. At least in my opinion. Obviously, colors, but like people do it. Unfortunately, white people do it all the time. There's a lot of people that that are playing roles that are Asians or other types of roles, but they're white. So why can't it be done the other way? You know what I mean? Why can't he play Kratos if he wants to be Kratos? Obviously, this is just us talking, speculating, but like, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Um.
I'm gonna see if I can find a picture.
So like let me show you. Let me show you a picture. Let me turn on screen share. Let me go. Let me go here. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't like. Alright, cool.
I mean, if the movie is in Greek, if it's, but the thing is it gonna follow Greek mythology?
Tell me he doesn't look like him, bro. Look at that. Look at that beautiful man. This is literally just looks like paint. This just looks like paint. But you can tell that that's not his actual color. Like you can see like. Oh, it's a YouTube video. I don't want to YouTube video. Darker. He just looks intimidating. Like he can beat you up. Just look at him, dude. Look at that. You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
His face. Look at Kratos. That doesn't look like Kratos. His nose is longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't look like Kratos, the original Kratos.
Well, yeah, obviously. This is adaptation, but like, I don't know. I could see him as Kratos. Or I mean, I guess he could also play him as well, but like, I just see him as Kratos. Maybe he can be like the other Kratos, but I see him as Kratos. He just looks like him. All right, let me go back to the.
Okay. I think Kratos deserves a TV show.
You think so? That'd be cool. Like a Netflix, dude. A Netflix series? Like they did with The Witcher? Oh, okay.
HBO.
But HBO no, there's Netflix has less restrictions though.
No, but HBO, they're really good with. Okay, so they're about to do the Last of Us TV show.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I feel like they can pick up more
traction
from Sony and actually make TV shows out of them, and people are gonna really like them. So if they take God of War and they do make that into a TV show, I think people would really enjoy it.
Yeah. So my second game is Nathan Drake, or that's a character. Is the Uncharted series. I fucking love it. Uncharted 4 was probably like the cream of the crop for me. I tried to replay the other games, but they were kind of like outdated and stuff, like graphic wise, stuff like that. So Uncharted 4 was more of a. It was also a way that I got my fiance into it, Maria. I got her into like the series, so it was also more, like I guess more emotion tied to it because of that she likes the series now. So, when I was looking at this, Jake Gyllenhaal, I don't really see him as Nathan Drake. Like I see like, I don't know. I don't really know who I see as that, to be honest. Like, I saw, when I heard that Tom Holland was going to play the young Nathan Drake, I kind of saw it, and I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't happening. But, I mean, I don't really know. Like, Troy Baker, but I don't really think, like, let me see. Does Troy Baker look like that? Like, I don't know if he looks like that. Do you think he looks like, you know who Troy Baker is?
Yeah, but Troy Baker plays the brother. And he's a voice actor. I feel like, I'm not sure how well he would do in a movie.
But I don't see anybody like, I mean, Nolan North could play him, but he just looks too old. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like,
they waited too long.
Like if he was younger, perfect. It would have been amazing because he literally. I'm pretty sure they got Nathan Drake from his facial
Well,
features.
have you seen the test footage for an entire movie?
No, I have not. Like he literally looks like him. Just obviously he's based off like his face and everything, but like if they made him unless they make it a thing where it's like it's unless it's like what's the word um if they make a series where he's older and he has to go on and like they make the emphasis on his daughter, that'd be amazing too. Because like you already played the games and everything, so now it's time to move on to the next person. So it's like if they casted him as like the older, like more mature, like yeah, you seen me do these things. I'm gonna do one more thing, and then that's how my daughter gets into it because we know she has a daughter and everything. I think that'd be a cool idea. But then I have to figure out who's gonna be the fucking person to be like the actual character for the girl and stuff. And I was gonna say Last of Us, which is another thing that I like, but we already know HBO is gonna do something with that, and I have a feeling that it's gonna be good. Because when I heard that Witcher 3 was gonna be a thing, obviously Witcher 3 is more than just a video game, or sorry, not Witcher 3, Witcher the series on Netflix. I knew it was gonna be more based on the actual book than the actual game, but actually being a fan of the game and not really reading the books and still watch the series was amazing. Like I loved it, and I know people like in my family that have no idea what it is that saw it. They were like, "Dude, this is amazing." I was one day I was bored and then I saw that was there. I saw it and then I couldn't stop watching it. So like, and because of that, we seen the success of the video games. Like when the series came out, and people were watching it. A lot of people were buying The Witcher 3 because they saw the the series, you know. And I was one of them myself. I already owned the copy, but I like re-downloaded it and I played it again, and it's it's still one of my favorite games that was ever made, and I can't wait for Cyberpunk. Um, and even though Tom Hardy, I already said this as Arthur Morgan, I can literally see that. I don't know if you can see that. Did you play did you play uh Red Dead Redemption 2?
Uh, yeah, but I didn't finish it.
Can you see Tom Hardy as Arthur Morgan?
Wait, who's Morgan?
This motherfucker. I played it. Yeah, I played my
Wait,
ass.
that's in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, too.
Oh yeah. Maybe I don't know. I didn't really get to Red Dead Redemption. I still have to go
So
back
here,
and finish it.
let me show you, okay? So you can see, and then the stream can also see. So Arthur Morgan. Hopefully you don't. Jesus Christ. Okay. So this is him, right? So it's Arthur Morgan, right? You see him? You see him?
No, I can't. I see you.
You see this beautiful man? Well, okay, you should be able to see him because I'm doing screen share, so you should be able to see the stream. Or
No, I can see you.
oh, that's weird. Okay, so Arthur Morgan was Tom Hardy. I don't know. I feel like Tom Hardy. You know who Tom Hardy is, right?
Yep. He's Venom.
Oh, because I never shared this. Give me a second. Let me do that. All right, there you go. You see now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Him as
Yeah.
Does he voice a character?
No. Like, can you see him as like as him?
I mean, yeah. I just feel like it's hard to do a Red Dead Redemption movie.
Why is that?
Because I mean, you could literally name it anything else. Like it doesn't have to be Red Dead Redemption. You know?
Could just be
Like you could
redemption.
you can find any other movie based on a cowboy, and it could basically be Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, I wouldn't say all that, but like, I mean, it is. I don't know. All right, before I think that's pretty much it for me. Is there anything that you want to talk about, Chill?
You should look up Nathan Fillion as Drake.
Said Nathan what?
Fillion?
Nathan Fillion? Oh, okay, this guy? I mean, but he looks a little bit old, though. I mean, yeah, I can see that, yeah.
You could put makeup on that.
Is he still acting?
Who knows? But he did a he that's a he they did a short film. That's him in the short film.
Is Nathan Drake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be cool. When was this?
It was like a few months ago, but it's like a 15-minute short film.
Might have to see it. Yeah. And it's supposed to be, oh my god, what's your name? That's Sully? That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the other guy.
I might have to. Sully, bro, come on. It's not bad, yeah. I dig that. I dig that. Yeah, I can see that. His face is a little bit bigger, but yeah, I can see that. But just look at this though. Just look at this. Look how almost real that looks, dude. That's insane.
That doesn't look real.
No, but it
That
just
looks real.
looks beautiful, bro.
I mean, we know that he's fake, so I feel like it's kind of hard for us to believe it, you know?
He's not faking my eyes. I'm just kidding. All right. It's pretty much it for what I have to say. Is there anything that you want to add? Any news or anything? Any topic you want to talk about before we head out, or?
No, I think that's it for this week.
Okay. So, yeah. Pretty much, this is gonna be uploaded on YouTube one day. Something I don't know when, to be honest. But yeah, I want this to be a thing that we do every week, and hopefully every week. And it's just gonna be random, you know. There is some structure to it. Like I do have a list of things that I want us to talk about, but it's just gonna be random. I don't want it to be too serious. Mostly because I'm probably gonna forget things or I'm gonna stutter my words or whatever. So as we get better with this, you know, have better setup and we have better material, you know. But for now, baby steps. Just trying to like use the time that we have at home to do something for people can watch or not, you know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day, good night, and until next week.
Bye, guys.